Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. Hope you're all doing well today. Right, let's talk all about the royal family and fashion, amongst other things. Firstly, I wish the King well. I think he is incredibly brave to not only tell everybody about his medical condition, but to tell everybody I'm just about to go into surgery. Anyone who's followed this channel, well, we were back in London, you know. When we first went to London, we didn't really mention why we were there. A lot of you guessed because you knew the story. But it wasn't until after Graham came out of the surgery and he said, yeah, it's okay, I want to do a video, that he told anybody. We certainly didn't tell anybody before the event. You know, what the King's going through, as I understand it, is a fairly straightforward, simple procedure. What Graham went through was a 9-hour operation, and there were about 15 people in the operating theatre. So these days, people just generally, it's extremely rare to die in surgery, but it is a risk, and they do explain that to you. So I just think the King, I really take my hat off to him. Now seems to be a bit of a debate going on at the moment whether the Princess of Wales should tell people what her condition is. I don't see why she has to divulge anything. In fact, I think she's divulged quite a lot already. And my reasons are, the King is the monarch. And I think that not only is he trying to help other people and encourage other people to have checkups of that nature, he is the monarch. So when the head of state is in hospital, there's a risk. There always is. Infinitesimal. Anyone out there who's going to have surgery or has been through surgery, you know there's always the apprehension. But there is that infinitesimal risk, and so that could affect the line of succession. The Princess of Wales is not in the line of succession. That's the thing. She has performed her duties to perfection. There are 3 heirs, the lovely Wales children, and now this is her private life. If, for example, she had a life-threatening condition whilst being pregnant, and she did, I forget the name and I can't pronounce it anyway, I remember people saying what it was. If that at that time, I believe they were quite open because it involves the line of succession. I know this all sounds a bit graphico and gritty, but it is a family hereditary thing. So anything, pregnancies, if there seems to be anything wrong, or, I mean, God, they must absolutely dread it, actually. We all do. All of us that have had children, like, that's the one thing you want, is that your children are going to be happy and healthy. Imagine the whole world watching as well. That's pressure, isn't it? But she doesn't have to say anything now. That's her own private business. If it were William, yes, then that's another matter. The late Queen, yes, they gave quite a lot of information, actually, at the time. I know people wanted more. God, don't they always want more. They want an endoscope. Let's have a look. Oh, dearie me. But other people who are not in the line of succession, for example, when Meghan was pregnant, Meghan is neither in the line of succession, but when she was pregnant, the baby is then part of the line of succession, and I won't comment any further on that subject. Just like to say, thank you all very much for the compliments on my hair. It is a bit of a cheat, because what I do, I walk around all day long looking like an absolute bag of shit. But when I'm going to do a video talking to you, I want to look as good as I can, because out of respect for you, you've taken the time and trouble to listen to my videos. Imagine if I just turned up looking at, oh my God, you'd freak out. So what I do, now a lot of you already know this, but for those of you out there who want to iron yourselves out, or you have hair like me, I use this. Let me get it the angle right. It's like a toast rack, and it's a hair straightener. And I got it for, I think it was about €35. There are varying brands. Mine is a Tymo ring, but there are other brands and that sort of thing, because it sort of grips the hair. It's like a hot comb. So I cheat, and then throughout the day my hair goes until the next day for a video, and I just iron myself out quickly. It takes about 5-10 minutes, so hot off the press. But thank you all very much. It's a bit like when you're invited to a wedding, or into somebody's home for a dinner party. Like, I feel like I'm being invited into your private homes. You don't turn up looking like crap, do you? You do the best that you possibly can, and you wear something nice. Let's get on to what the royals wear. Now, Camilla, oh, my estimations, she's just shot up. Oh, well, I love her. And that was not always the case. She wore odd earrings. Now, I'm doing that. It is a thing. It's been around a while. My daughter quite often says to me, are you trying to be trendy by wearing odd earrings? And the honest truth is, no, I lose them. I pay about €1.50 a pair, and God knows where they go. God knows. They don't even go up the Hoover, because I use a dustpan and brush around the house because the floors are marble and a mop. So I don't know where they go, but they vanish. And that's why I only spend €1.50 a pair. And then sometimes I think, you know, I've just said I'll make a big effort for you guys. And sometimes you have remarked in the past and said, why are you wearing odd earrings? And I just think, well, I'll stick in what I can find. But Camilla has clearly done it on purpose, and I think that is divine. I love that she did that. So that leads me on to royal protocol and things that royals should and shouldn't do. They're just guidelines as I see it. They're not like written in stone. And I know that some people get very upset, especially with Meghan, if she's broken royal protocol. So I'm going to put a little word of defence in for Meghan here. Because people say she wore black and royals should only wear black when there's a funeral. I'm wearing black today, sort of to make the point that in this day and age, a lot of people wear black all the time in everyday wear. It's very common. It's a nice practical colour, isn't it? Unless you've got a pussycat with white hair or a tabby cat like mine. Now, when I was little, my grandmother had the most gorgeous black velvet dress. It wasn't a ball gown. It was just a sort of a typical 1950s V-neck, nipped waist, full skirt, and she looked sensational in it. But she would only put it on when we as kids nagged her to like play dress up, because we just thought it was so glamorous. But she wouldn't wear it out unless it was a funeral or unless someone had died. That was the rule. And my gran was not a member of the royal family. That's just how things were in those days. People generally didn't wear black for everyday life, whereas now people wear black all the time. And of course the royals are always held to a much higher standard. So, and also for them, they're people that can't, they have to be very careful what they say. They really don't have free speech. It's kind of ironic. There's a lot of freedoms they don't have. And so one of the ways that they can communicate with the public is their clothes, their jewellery, their hair, and they can do and say subtle things. Like, for example, remember when Meghan accused the royal family of they're not allowed to all wear the same colour? And then Catherine had the Westminster Abbey concert and they all wore the same colour. I think they were making a point. Also, they wear bright colours, and she said she felt she had to wear monotone colours and beiges and stuff to blend in. And she's done nothing but wear black, white and 50 shades of beige, really, ever since. I mean, she's free to wear what she wants now. Why is she going along with that? So, you can't wear black. Now, Diana did wear black. And I think other members of the royal family have worn black or very, very dark navy blue. I mean, that's another way. Apparently, they all carry a black outfit with them all the time in case the monarch dies. And then wherever they are, they're not going to get caught short. Because the Queen, when her father died, was in Africa, wasn't she? And I don't know if they took the outfit onto the plane for her to get changed into. I think they might have done, because she didn't have anything black. So when she came out of the plane, she was wearing black. So that was the sort of theory, but that's an era thing. Also, the black nail varnish. I actually quite like the outfit Meghan wore when she was pregnant with I think they were the same earrings, gold discus earrings. She had an outfit on one shoulder and she was like rubbing her bump or whatever was going on there. But I quite liked the nail varnish. It wasn't black, it was like a really, really deep, deep burgundy. And Queen Camilla has just proved, with the odd earrings, that yes, things can change. Right, I've made a list. Now the Jamaica thing, a lot of people are saying that the person that they were photographed with, the president of Jamaica, I'm sorry, forgive me, I didn't write his name down, I should have done, was quite off with Catherine and William when they were there in Jamaica, but yet happier with Meghan and Harry. Well, yeah, maybe. And that there are concerns that Meghan and Harry are determined to bring down the monarchy. Well, firstly, they're not going to bring down the monarchy. I don't think anybody needs to worry about that. Really, that's not going to happen. The monarchy has been through way bigger catastrophes than Meghan and Harry. It's not going anywhere. Of that, I am confident. Also, there are rumours that she was there, well, not just rumours, Lady C. Go and watch Lady C's latest, because she's from Jamaica, so of course this is her homeland, and she will explain all about it, that Meghan was seen at the very least the day before in Jamaica. But there are other reports that she was there maybe from the Friday, doing I don't know what, no comment. But I don't think Harry and Meghan are the type of people who are intelligent enough to think politically like that. Do you know what I mean? What Meghan wants is to be seen on a red carpet. She's a very shallow person, in my opinion. She just wants to wear a ball gown type thing. And yes, it was too long at the front. Extraordinary, isn't it? Because you'd think the biggest fear would be tripping over or falling over. So at the very least, how much effort does it take to just take the hem up at the front? And when I say it was all right, it was nice, I mean, in comparison to other things she'd worn, I felt that that was quite a normal sort of outfit. As I said before, it's not the sort of thing I'd wear to the cinema, and it didn't look like they were sitting in a VIP box, because I can tell you this for a fact. Theatres and places like that sort of auditorium type things, they do have royal boxes. I know this for a fact, because when my mother was chairman of East Sussex County Council, she was sponsoring East Sussex Youth Jazz Orchestra or something like that, and various other things. And as a child, I had to go along to these events and sit in, as she was given the royal box, because she was the guest of honour. And inside the royal box, both at Glyndebourne and the Theatre Royal in Brighton, it's terrible. It's cut to pieces inside. There are big gouges out of the wood. And we asked, what's that? And they said, when royalty or nobility are here with their swords, when they sit down, quite often the sword gouges it. So what you see from the outside is one thing. What you see from behind is quite another. A bit like the Time-O ring. I wonder if Queen Camilla, I wonder if she uses a Time-O ring before she goes out. Of course, she'll take a hairbrush to her hair. She'll have all sorts of people sorting her out. I heard a story, or I read it in one of the books, that Princess Diana, when she went on a long-haul flight, she'd be all dressed smart in a suit, get on the plane, wave at everybody, and then once she got on the plane, she'd change into a tracksuit and just slump over reading a book or sleeping on the plane until half an hour before landing, quickly put the suit back on, do her hair. So, I mean, what you see is there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but I had a sneaking suspicion that maybe the real reason that Meghan and Harry have gone to Jamaica is they are potentially thinking of buying somewhere down there. Now, I'm not familiar with prices of real estate in Jamaica or the Caribbean or any of those areas, but I have suggested many times, why don't they sell that phenomenally expensive mansion, if they can sell it? Is it a buyer's market at the moment? I don't know. You guys in California and America would have to tell me that. Sell that and buy somewhere in the middle of nowhere for a fraction of the price and live literally like kings. Film wildlife. I would imagine Jamaica is teeming with wildlife and flowers and plants. And didn't Noel Coward go to live his days out there? And didn't Ian Fleming also live in Jamaica, I think? And of course the late Princess Margaret lived in Mustique. I'm not quite sure what part. Is Mustique Caribbean? I don't know. My geography is absolutely appalling. But as far as the anti-monarchy things are going to go, you are always going to get these people who campaign for a republic and an anti-monarchy. They are always going to cling to members of the royal family like Harry and Meghan, who've made a song and dance, race-baited to hell, friends like Omid Scobie, all that. But I think that Meghan especially probably does realise that if the royal family were to fall, her title is gone. Absolutely gone. Completely. I don't think she's quite that stupid. I mean, she's fairly dim-witted. I don't see her as a highly intelligent woman. I see her as a very shallow woman who's it's all skin deep, and she's losing that, as we all do as we age. That's a matter of fact, unless you embrace it and you go, yeah, why not? It's all going to wear very thin for her. Also, the fact that it was a Paramount thing, which is a direct competitor to Netflix, I saw that as a huge middle finger to Netflix, which made me wonder, have Netflix said, we're going to make an announcement, we don't want anything to do with you, you haven't produced anything. I actually posted on my X account last night. I like going through these vintage articles, you know, a couple of years ago, where there were people who must feel awfully foolish now, crowing, oh, Meghan and Harry, they're going to entertain the world, they're going to make so much content, they're going to be multi-billionaires. Isn't it amusing to read those kind of articles now? In fact, I'll put a link in the description to that one as well. Some fella called Hastings, who were high up in Netflix, who said a few years ago, Harry and Meghan are going to make films and TV shows and kids shows, and it's going to be marvellous, they're going to be producers, they're going to entertain the world, we're all going to be winners. Ooh, oopsie doodlers, Christopher Boozy would say. And yes, sugars, I did see you in the comments yesterday saying, could I pretty please shut the fuck up and stop mentioning Christopher Boozy? I think they're worried Judge Charlene Honeywell actually watches this channel, which I don't know if she does or not. I've done a few videos about her. If you Google her, my videos, they tend to show up. Perhaps there's a little fear there while she's contemplating whether to go to Discovery or not and get to the bottom of the mystery. Can you imagine Meghan in a year or two saying, I would have gotten away with it as well if it wasn't for you pesky Megsketeers constantly pointing out inconvenient facts? That would be you guys. Anyway, lots to think about there and talk about in the comments. So yeah, I mean, the royal family, generally they're not going to wear black, but I don't think it's the end of the world if they do. It's certainly not the end of the world if they wear odd earrings. Certainly not the end of the world if they wear dark nail varnish. Those things don't bother me one bit. In fact, they amuse me, entertain me, and I like them. What I don't like is when a member of the royal family is behaving like a fucking bitch, if you'll pardon my French. As always, thank you very much for listening.